In this video, we're going to be going over the action buttons that are located under the prospect's information. So you can see that's my name there, my information. So below that, we have the first one, which is the create a note function. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And here I can see I can just start typing some information, and then I can save the note as well as create a follow-up task. So if I do that, I can choose a task type. So we can see call, email, or general to do, as well as a set option for the date. It'll be due. There I've got different options that I can choose from, as well as a custom date option. Once I click on save note, there I can see the task is now upcoming, so that's the task created from the note, as well as the actual note that was created. If I open up this task, I can see that it's regarding the note that was logged. And if I open up this little training thing, I can see I have multiple options. I can add more information to the note itself, and you can keep doing this no matter what. So I'm going to click on actions and I'm going to pin this note. So pinning allows it to always be on the top of the prospect's activity. So anytime you want to add more information, if you want to add some research that you've done, you can keep adding it to the note that you've got pinned to the prospect's page. From that, we have the little create an email button. So this create an email button can be used for two reasons. So you either need to, if you need to send a prospect an email, snippet after you've had a conversation with them, or if you need to manually enroll them into sequence, which I'll show in another video. When making use of these snippets, all you need to do is come into the actual email box and use a hashtag. So we're going to go hashtag send info phone. So what's really great with that is that you have the ability to quickly just add in your snippet from there. And generally we use snippets for when we have spoken to the prospect, they've asked us for more information. So we've got the send info. They stated they're not interested. We have a not interested snippet. Meeting scheduled. There's a meeting follow-up, which is a meeting reminder email that you can send to the prospect, as well as we have a call later, a referral email, as well as a missed meeting email. So you'll see we've got the template has been auto-filled into here. And then if I hover over the send button, it tells me that the email needs a subject and a body. So what I will do is go ahead and click just autofill some random subject line. Obviously you will go something more appropriate. And then I've got the send button as well as the little drop down, and I've got the option to send later. So by clicking on send later, what will pop up is the options. So I've got the best time to send within the next 24 hours or within this week, which is all based on data that's picked up by Hubspot. Or I can set just for tomorrow or a custom date. And there I can go ahead and adjust it. I can maybe adjust it to the prospect's time zone so that it's better adjusted to them. What's really great with scheduling your emails is that it allows you to do that whistle meeting reminder email. You can schedule that for the prospect so it alleviates some of that pressure from you to remember sending that email. But it's super important to create follow-up tasks for that prospect if they have scheduled a meeting and ensure that they do attend the meeting. There is also that ability from the email task to create a follow-up task as well from this email. So you can go ahead and do that after you've scheduled a meeting with the prospect. You're sending the snippets and you're creating that follow-up task to call them the day before their meeting just to remind them and make sure that they'll attend. So again, options for task types are over here, as well as the due dates for the task. Again, you'll see there's very similar options to when you're creating a note. And if I go and click on send, you can see it all adjusted. Once I click on send later, and after I've chosen a specific time, it will then be scheduled and you'll see it in your upcoming section. The next one we have is the little call button. So you can see it says make a phone call. If I drop that down, what you will see is the actual prospect's current direct phone number, mobile phone number will be listed here. If there are any additional phone numbers, you will also see it listed here, and you can just click on it and it will immediately start dialing. There is generally also an option if the company has a contact number, you will also see it listed over here. What I'm going to do is click on open call options. And this is what you'll see also when you have a call task to make a call to a prospect. You'll have your information, the prospect's information listed on top, and then you'll see you have your little notes section as well, and your number will be listed at the bottom. I'll be showing how to complete a call task in another video, so stay tuned for that. But that's basically how you can just do an auto phone call from the prospect. Maybe if you just want to follow up on something, you can do that just by clicking and bringing up the dialer from there. The next thing we have is the create a task button. So if you're not making use of create a note or create an email follow-up tasks, there is the actual task button over here. This is generally how it looks. So you can enter your task titles. So I can just make it like follow up on conversation. Then I can change the due date. So maybe I want it for tomorrow. And I can change the task type. So what's really great is that Hubspot also does this thing where if I want to make it a call task, I've typed in call and it will change the task type to call. As well as if I type in email, it will change the task type to email. Tricky thing is, obviously, it doesn't go back to a to-do task, which you'll just need to click here and click on to-do. As mentioned in the task section video, you've got your priority and you've got your queue. So if you wanted to create a follow-up queue, so therefore you'd be able to filter all your follow-up tasks in that specific queue, you are able to do that by clicking on this little option and then creating a new queue. So this is what will happen, and you'll just need to fill in a name and click on save. And that way, when you're in your task section, you'll be able to filter all tasks within that queue. And then you can add any notes. So if I wanted to say meeting scheduled, so just following up to make sure that they're going to attend, all I need to do is then click on create. And there I've got the task under my upcoming section. Next thing we have is the log a LinkedIn message. However, I do want to point out that generally the default options, it won't say log a LinkedIn message. Instead, it will have the schedule a meeting button. Generally, as we are using the client's meeting links, we won't be making use of the schedule a meeting button. Rather, we make use of the log a LinkedIn with our LinkedIn activity. The log a LinkedIn message, you can just see it pop up. What we generally want to use this for is any LinkedIn activity that we have. So if we wanted to send the prospect a message, or you can either insert an image of you liking a specific post that you want to reference. As you saw earlier, there was an image there. And you can just have any interaction you've got here. So why we also do this is generally with a LinkedIn task, you can see it's either call and LinkedIn step 2. It doesn't log a specific LinkedIn task. So by logging a LinkedIn message, you can say like 3 posts, like this post, and you can insert the URL there. It will help us track the LinkedIn activity that's being completed. And you can see there's also that ability to create a follow-up task. Works the same way as the email and the create a note button. Once you're done, you just click on log activity. The other options that we have here, just by clicking on more, you've got the ability to log an SMS. So again, this is dependent on if your campaign is making use of SMSs, you'll be able to log it just same way you would with the LinkedIn activity. Once I insert some information, I can log that activity. Next, we have the log a WhatsApp message, again, campaign dependent. You can log a call, so maybe if you received a call but it wasn't logged correctly, it didn't pull through on HubSpot, you're also able to log that and put in information over here. So you can go ahead and do that, and you'll see it gives you the ability to log activity and create a follow-up task from that as well. Next thing we have is the log a meeting. So again, generally used by AEs when they want to log a meeting that was held with the prospect. Then we've got log an email. So sometimes if maybe you've responded to the prospect via email on your actual Gmail account for the client company, always suggest emailing from HubSpot. It means that all emails will be tracked if they click on any links. But if you do, you will be able to paste the email over here and log it that way. And then we've got log a postal mail and then the schedule a meeting. So why we don't use this button is you can see it will always ask you to sync your calendar and connect it. That way it's asking you for when you book a meeting, it'll be booking it with you. We always suggest not doing this and just making use of the client's meeting link. All right, and that's the activity action buttons.